so not alone. And so I hope that these more personal videos give you the feeling of some socialization. So that kind of content will be coming, and I appreciate your patience. If you're not aware, I've moved in the past couple months, and so I'm figuring out how to put up my backdrop because it was hanging from the ceiling in my old apartment. And this one, the ceiling is hollow and I don't want to tear through, and so I'm not quite sure how to set that up. Dealing with different neighbors and noise levels and just trying to figure that out. So it will all come together, but I've just been really struggling with my mental health and my mental health and my physical health. If you guys aren't aware, my sweet puppy Catalina passed away as of recently, and if you've been around, then you know what Catalina means to me and my family, but especially me. She was my everything and my comfort. She slept with me every night and throughout the day. She was at least 12 years old, and we had her for 10, 11 years. We got her when I first got sick. Sorry guys, the freeway. We got her when I first got sick because I was home all day by myself, and my parents didn't like that I was home alone by myself all day, and so we got Catalina. I giggled just because Catalina, the love of my life. I'll show you a picture if you never got to see her in any of my videos. Here's a sweet one of Catalina. We also called her Nana, off of Peter Pan. When the kids would say, "Poor Nana," Catalina raised her 3 kids well. She felt very much like a nanny, growing up and even into adulthood. So now, being almost 22 years old, I was so blessed to have a puppy from childhood into adulthood, and she got to come and live with me some here in my new place, and it's like she helped on just to help me transition. But now I'm dealing with the seizures, and they're at night, they're nocturnal seizures, and not having her around has been awful. Awful. The isolation is a killer, and I was already dealing with heavy depression and anxiety previous to her passing, and now I'm really struggling. So I'm struggling with the loss of Catalina. I'll show you another picture. This was on Christmas. It's not showing up as vibrant, but so that's my sweet puppy. So I'm dealing with that. I've moved into a new place by myself, so I'm adapting to living alone. My family moved away over an hour plus away, and I'm really close with my family. I still have Gracie, which, good old Gracie. I love Gracie so much, and I'm so glad that we have been getting to see each other so that's always amazing that she's close. But my brother isn't near, and I'm really close with both of my siblings, so that's hard to not have him near. So I'm dealing with Catalina, my family moving away, adapting to living alone, having seizures at night, dealing with that now on top of my other chronic health conditions. My nurse that I love very, very dearly is very near and dear to my heart. That has been my nurse for years, since I've had my board for like 3+ years. He had moved back to the East Coast, and so I don't have him anymore. And I thought, okay, well, at least when I move, like I'll have nurse, you know, I'm not gonna say his name. We'll say, we'll just call him nurse. So I just thought, okay, well, at least I'll have my nurse. That brings some comfort, some familiarity, some form of normalcy, right? And then he came to access my port one night and give me an infusion. And that night he told me, he's like, Maddie, I'm going back to the East Coast. And I was like, you're kidding me. So that's a huge one. And if you guys know, my infusions that I get knock me out for, if I get it at 4 p.m., I wake up at 2 a.m. So they're infusions that like have sedation drugs in them. They knock me out. And to have someone in your home and to trust you to be with you that entire time to make sure you're okay, and just build that comfort and that trust with someone is a lot. And to imagine, like, it takes a lot to have someone in your personal space as close as can be, touching your body and then sticking a needle through your chest. Like, you just, and you're already suffering. This nurse became what felt like family, and always checked in with me and just gave me such comfort. And because I'm so isolated in my everyday life, because I don't have many people in my life, I don't have, you know, many friends. I have you guys, but no one like in my everyday life that lives near me, anything of the sort, minus Fifi, so minus like Gracie, and then a few other people. But anyway, point being is that he felt like a constant in my life that felt like a safe space, and it just felt like everything at once. It just felt like everything at once. And it's been really heavy, and I feel really stripped and kind of bare and worn down. And my chronic illnesses, the pain that I experience every day is it all adds up eventually. Even if I deal with it okay day to day, it mentally takes a toll on me. And I just don't know how much longer that I can continue to be in such high levels of pain like this every day. So anyways, and we found out that I got some CAT scans done, and they found that I have vertebrae that are coming out of place, like slippage of my vertebrae, and they are pressing on my interior jugular. So I have compression on my jugular because my vertebrae are slipping. So that's, I mean, it's amazing that we found something that could be causing so many issues that I have. I'm going to get to making the shake, and then we'll go and have it in bed and chit chat, but I'm going to voice over making the smoothie because the fridge just came on. So anyways, that's just a little life update, just kind of what I'm going through, explanation here, just a little. So anyways, if that has helped piece together what's been going on a little bit, and I put about 5-6 frozen strawberries in there, and then just a few frozen pieces of banana, along with unsweet almond milk and half-ass holding onto my blender. Okay, just finished making my smoothie, so I guess that we can go into my bedroom and just chit chat. Let me see how I'm gonna do this. Okay. Let's see. Do I trust myself enough to hold the okay, I guess I trust myself enough to not drop everything. That's very naive of me. That's cute, but naive. Okay. You know what? I think we have this perfect setup right here. Hey, we actually do. Okay. What if we brought a little bit of light from this candle, which is a almond macaroon candle from Target? If you want to know what my house smells like, my bedroom, my bathroom, my office, living room, kitchen, everything, it's this. I have at least 7 of these candles in my house. I'm not kidding. Okay, we have made it into my bedroom, Again, not the best of lighting situation here, but it is more dim, which should be easier on your eyes and honestly easier on mine. Hang on, let me go turn off the air, of course, as soon as I press play every time. So, okay, the air will go off in a minute, but I am notorious for having my house super hot. It's always, well, to me, it's perfect, and it can't be warm enough because I'm always cold. I have awful circulation issues, very, very poor circulation issues. So that, like, even just being, I am so cold constantly that it will cripple me, and I can't get out of bed some days. So usually, like, for me, my perfect temperature is 76, my house to be set at. Even if it's really hot outside, I don't care. And then I lay on a heating pad all day, so then I can move around. I can, do what I need to. But when company comes over, I will turn it down, of course, because not everyone likes the house to be at 76. And I acknowledge that that is really hot, but so yesterday I was working out, and yesterday I got really hot working out, because I've been working out in my living room when the sun hits my living room about 5-6 p.m. is when it's really beaming, and that's when I really like to go and do my yoga and light workouts, right? So I just got really hot for some reason. Usually when I'm working out, like, I'll get warm, but not just beyond overheated. Again, because I'm just constantly cold. So anyways, I got hot and I turned off my heat, and I woke up this morning freezing, and I went to go check the temperature in the house, and it was 63. So I woke up to a very, very cold house. I woke up to quite big serving size for me, and there's just no point in dirtying up another glass, right? But this is a glass straw. And I got these on Amazon, and I really, really love them. I made Easter baskets for everyone in my family this year. And in my sister's, I put a pack of these in there. So they're great, like stocking stuffers, or if you're doing like a gift bag. They look great in like little cocktail glasses or smoothies, like whatever you want to do. They just look nice. Iced coffees, anything, even water. So I really like these. I enjoy sit down chit chat videos like this. I really enjoy Best Life by Brooke. That's what the smoothie reminds me of, sitting down and talking. I love Brooke. I just adore her. I can't say enough phenomenal things about Brooke. She has helped me feel so not alone in a time where I have felt so beyond alone and struggling. I just adore her, and I think she is just the best mama she seems to be, and she is just such a boss, and she seems to be a great, just hustler, and she knows what she's doing. It seems like when it comes to different businesses and hustles that she is doing at the moment. And anyway, she's just really inspiring, really creative. And I love her lo-fi videos. I love all of her content, but her lo-fi videos are my favorite. I am such a weirdie, but I crave kale. I was with someone the other day who was saying, on some little comedy bit on kale and hating it, and how he was saying how he didn't know how anyone liked it. Some bit that was really funny. But I said I crave kale. What you do? I adore kale salads. I love to put kale on the stove and steam it. I like to make kale chips in the oven. I love to put kale in my smoothies. I just love anything and everything with kale in it. And he was very, very disgusted by this. And my sister has never just been a huge kale person, but every time she comes over, we have breakfast, and then come back to bed and watch Disney Plus, old Disney shows. We love to do that. We'll come back to bed and watch Kim Possible, and eat our eggs for breakfast and our smoothies. But I always put kale in my smoothies, and that's just, kale isn't her choice of greens. She eats so many greens. Grace eats amazing. But kale just isn't her favorite choice of greens, and I think since when she comes over, that's really all I do with, I have power greens, love power greens, and I'll put them in my smoothies with the kale, but I prefer kale. So she's kind of on a kale kick right now as well. Sorry, I'm feeling a little stingy, like I'm having an allergic reaction. Anyways, I'll get off the kale rant, but and I have gastroparesis, like issues. So my stomach, I can literally not digest food, it just sits. So imagine eating something or even drinking water and it just sitting right here for hours at a time. Sometimes I mean, I've had a glass of water that I've drank and it takes, you know, I could be eating crackers and drinking water, and 8 hours later it's still sitting there with that pressure and needing to throw up and being in awful pain. So it's either I just sit in awful pain or I throw up. And of course that helps relieve that pain from it not digesting properly. My body's not getting the nutrition that it needs, which is why you can probably tell, you know, like my eyes, like my hair is falling out in clumps. I have awful bags. I mean, I always have awful bags, but I have awful bags. My body's just really beyond struggling. So at the moment I am underweight. I appreciate anyone and everyone who has been so brave in sharing with me that you have struggled with an eating disorder. I do want to say that I personally have never struggled with a eating disorder. There are many people in my life who do struggle with eating disorders and have, so I am very familiar with them, and I just want to send you so much love and light and praise you for your vulnerability and sharing something so deeply personal, in hopes that I might not be feeling so alone in my struggle. And that means more than you will ever know and that I could ever possibly express. So even if we're not dealing with the same underlying issue, we all struggle. So even if our struggles are different, we all struggle at some point in time. And I know that I always say that, but it is very true. So I just want you to know that I really appreciate you and that I love you. And that if you deal with, you know, issues relating to food and weight, that I hope that I can always be a safe space for you, even if, you know, we're dealing with opposite issues. I just want you to know that this is always a safe space for you to share what you're going through. It's draining. My relationship to food is, I have anxiety. Well, number one, imagine eating for me is draining. Drinking water, drinking anything is draining for me. And again, everything comes in waves, so there could be a month that I do really well and that I am able to eat more and hydrate better. And then there might be a month where there's nothing and it is constant puking, and I'm in awful shape. And it's just up and down, just really, really, just really challenging, and it's draining. So smoothies are something easier for me to get down some days and to get some nutrition in me, at least with the kale I do. I just love fruit in my smoothies. I like to do more fresh fruit, like mango, because so this is the thing, normally I make my own cashew milk, and so this is the thing, I know that I can digest a smoothie better if I do a whole mango that is fresh, not frozen. That makes it more creamy and liquidy, so that I'm not using as much nut milk, such as almond milk, which I have been using because I haven't been making cashew milk lately. So anyways, I do a full mango fresh, and then I do a couple tablespoons of cashew milk because nut milk irritates me. Not as much as I've been dairy free for years now, and I'll never go back. But I know that my body feels better when I have the least amount of that in me possible. But I do best with cashew milk. I love cashew milk, not to drink straight, but I don't drink any milk straight. And if you do, you might be a psychopath. You just might be a psychopath, just slightly. And me and you need to have like a private conversation. So I'm just worried about you. If you're drinking straight milk, I'm just worried about you. That's all there is to it. Ick. So gross. So gross. The only time I would drink milk is if cereal has been sitting in it and it like soaks up the flavor right, and then you drink the milk. That's the only way. That's the only way. Anyways, so I will do one full fresh mango, and then I will do a couple tablespoons of cashew milk, kale, chopped up kale, chopped up kale, a few banana slices, and some strawberries, frozen strawberries, just to give it a little bit of texture, just a little bit of coolness, because if I use everything fresh, then it's going to be more room temperature, and I don't like to put ice. I feel like it waters down. It's gross. So I like to do frozen strawberries, just to really give it that icy kind of, like I said, texture. So that makes it easier to digest. That's easier to digest for my body. But yeah, I've been struggling with weight issues. I'm trying my best to get my weight back up. I'm going to call my doctor tomorrow and make an appointment, just because we have many things that we need to go over and some test results. So I'm going to do that tomorrow. I had a nurse come out and access my board today. It wasn't my nurse that I've been assigned. After my nurse left, I think he put me with a nurse that he really thought that I would kind of vibe with, but she has not been kind of anywhere to be found or present, and there were just some issues the first time that she came over. She's only been here once, and when she left, she didn't even access me. So yeah, it's a whole thing that I just don't really want to talk about. But anyway, so I called my home health place today, and they had someone come out, and they had the cutest, like sweetest older gentleman who came out, and he accessed my board, and he showed me a picture of his sweet Yorkie, who was just, oh my god, the cutest thing. And he was telling me how they just threw her birthday party, and this dog is sitting there at the table. She's so tiny, so just her head's popped up, and she is on this giant birthday hat. She was just the cutest thing ever. And he was so kind. He did an amazing job. He was so smooth, and was just like humming as he was doing everything. He had to be in his 70s at least. But yeah, he was just so cool, calm, collected, and like humming, like no big deal. Let's just get it done. So anyways, he was very sweet. He definitely wasn't like my nurse that I love so much that moved away. He, like I said, he feels more like family. But he and I had great. He's just someone that you definitely want at your party to party with. He's so funny. Oh my god, hysterical. And we had great banter back and forth, right? So this older he's not the one to do that, but he is very sweet and he did a great job, and I really appreciated him. And he even made it very aesthetically pleasing today. He was very he wanted to make it look very pretty, so he didn't leave any iodine showing. He cleaned it then with some alcohol so there wouldn't be any yellow. He wanted to make this look, he was just so very sweet. So anyways, I always appreciate my nurses. If you guys have been around, I love my nurses. I appreciate them, and they're really a lot of my socialization. So I always love chit-chatting them up. I like to make their job as easy as possible, set up, get everything done for them. So anyway, that was nice to have that nurse come out. He was very sweet. He's like, you know what? I'll text your nurse, let her know that I saw you today. And if you ever need me to come out, I am more than happy to come and help you. So, very kind. What else? Yeah, so tomorrow my assistant is going to come over and help me with some stuff. She kind of does a little bit of everything. So she comes in and she helps me clean. She helps me take out my trash. If I have boxes, she unboxes them for me. So a lot of more of the physical training tasks. She's been coming in 2 times a week to help me. So she will cook for me, helps me. Like if I get a rotisserie chicken, like she'll shred all of that chicken and put it into Tupperware for me, so then I can just heat it up and put some rice with it, and that's easy to go. I will schedule my groceries to be delivered at a time that she's here, so she'll put them up for me. She will wash my fruit and get that ready. If I want, let's say, a batch of soup for the week, she'll make me soup. She would make me anything that I would, want. She enjoys cooking. So usually what she helps me with, again, is the more physical training tasks. So like going to get my mail, unboxing boxes, taking out my trash, vacuuming and mopping for me, helping me clean my sheets and put them back on the bed. And that has been so helpful. So those of you that are really worried about me living alone, this is something that has really helped me, is having someone come in and just help. So if my medicine is going to be ready at the pharmacy tomorrow, so she will go to the pharmacy and pick up my medicine for me. And once I get my second vaccine, which I'm really excited to get and have it over with, I get my next vaccine in like 9 days. So I'm kind of nervous for my second dose. The first one went okay. I did have a reaction, but I pre-medicated with Benadryl because I was prepared, and it wasn't the medication, like the shot itself, that was the issue. It's my chronic illness, so my mast cell activation syndrome, it makes me have allergic reactions to anything and everything. And I knew that was going to happen. So I did have some allergies to it, or reactions, but I had some Benadryl and that's what took care of that. It did make me sleep for the entire day. I had some light joint pain. So my joints hurt. I was exhausted, pretty fatigued. My head hurt some. And apart from that, that was just about the only side effects that with my second shot, I got the Moderna, but and I don't know anyone that's gotten Moderna. Everyone else in my family ended up getting Pfizer, and I'm the only one that ended up with Moderna. But I do know the common denominator of what people have experienced in my family with their shot is just being exhausted. I do know my people with Pfizer, they just have they just struggled a lot with head pain. But to be honest, I like every side effect that people complain about, I struggle with in my everyday life. So who knows, like I could have been feeling, a side effect from the Moderna shot, but I wouldn't have known because it's my everyday, right? So I took a Claritin and Benadryl beforehand, and then I came home and took a Benadryl and slept the entire day. So anyway, once I get like my shots finished, my assistant will if I need to go somewhere, I know that she will help me out and take me somewhere. I am gonna look for a driver. Since I can't drive due to my medical issues, I would like to have someone that I could call if I needed to go out. I would like to have a driver that I know is I would feel comfortable with someone who I know is vaccinated, that isn't like just an Uber or a Lyft driver. So having someone like a personal driver would be better. This is not something that I would use every day, and not someone that I would probably even use every week, but someone that I can rely on and call every time, right? So that's what I would like to do. But anyways, for those that have been so concerned about me living alone, I have the same concerns everyone in my life does. Doctors have the same concerns. But I won't ever know if I can do it unless I try it. And so I'm trying my best to do it in a safe way. I am in a really bad place with the loss of Catalina, and she was a family dog, but everyone else in my life I know will be okay, and they are okay. Like my sister, she hasn't lived with Catalina for years, and she has a puppy of her own, my sweet niece Nellie, sweet baby Nellie. And then she has a partner that she's been with for years, right? And so she has someone to go home to and have comfort in that. And the same goes for my mom and brother, right? And no one relied on Catalina the way that I relied on Catalina, for many reasons. Catalina was my lifeline on so many of occasions. And so it's like everyone, I feel like, has that support and will be okay. And I am alone. I didn't expect to be living alone and then go through this really awful loss. I mean, no one just expects that you're gonna lose a loved one and such. But anyways, I just relied on Catalina for so much comfort and safety and reassurance silly dog. Like, that's awful. I'm not trying to make that not like a valid less than loss. But everyone else in my life will be okay without Catalina. I don't know how I'm going to be okay without her. And I was okay when she was here, when she was sleeping with me every night over here. I was okay, and now that she's not, I'm just struggling with being so alone. And I would love to have a companion. I would love to have a dog, but I also know that there are many days where I struggle just to take care of myself, and I can't physically take care of, like, go and walk a dog multiple times a day and take them out as they need. I know this. And sure, it's like, okay, you could hire someone to walk the dog. Okay, what happens in the middle of the night? Because animals are humans. It doesn't matter how well they're trained. You know, they eventually are going to need to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night at some point, because life happens. And what happens when I can't do that? Right? What happens when I'm in a really awful weak state and I have to navigate 2 flights of stairs and take my dog out? What happens? You know, it would be different, like, if that was in daytime and, like, there's someone around who might see me fall or something like that. I don't know. Pass out, whatever the case might be. I'm not saying that would indefinitely happen, but there is a chance of that. And so I know there are people that are in worse shape than I am, that have animals, that have dogs. I'm allergic to cats, can't do cats. I don't want, like, a rabbit or a rodent or birds, anything like that. And I, of course, would love a dog. And I feel awful saying that, like the guilt. But I just don't know how long I can keep going without having any form of companionship. It's too lonely with the seizures, with these episodes in the middle of the night. I can't do it alone. I need something here, and I can't be babysat. There's nothing that, you know, like, I have a sweet friend who has come to stay the night with me a few times on days where seizures are just really awful. But even then, it's not like I can ask for help, because I wake up in the seizures, and by the time it's over, like, you know, and I'm not just, like, straight convulsing. It's there. Anyways, so it's nice to wake up and know that someone is next to me. That's wonderful. And my sister has spent the night many of nights, and that's always comforting when Gracie spends the night with me. I love that. But again, I can't be babysat, and no one can fix it, and no one can do anything for me except me waking up and knowing that I'm not alone and that someone's next to me. But, you know, like, who's gonna do that? No one can do that. I don't want that. I'm not in a relationship. You know, so it's not like I have a partner who can come over a couple times a week and, like, I can just have that comfort. That is not in the cards for me at the moment. So, having a companion would be amazing, but I know there are people that are in such worse shape than I am, and they have animals. But again, I ideally would medium-size to big dogs are the most comforting to me. It's the size, it's the weight, although I don't like weighted blankets. I know someone's gonna say, what about a weighted blanket? I don't like weighted blankets. They make me feel panicky. dogs, but medium to, larger sized dogs are what's most comforting to me. But again, I don't have the energy to take a dog out like that. And then it goes into financial issues at some point if I'm hiring someone. How expensive is that going to be to do that, right? To have someone come in a couple times a week and assist me and help me with what I need, and then to be having someone to come and help take care of a dog. But again, like, a dog can't always be on a schedule, right? Because life happens. So what happens in those scenarios? I don't know. And then it's like, yeah, a service dog would be amazing, just amazing. But there's wait lists. They are so expensive. It's not even funny. I think like $30,000+ for a service dog. So anyway, just wild. But the lack of interaction and of any other living being is really taking a toll. And I know our world is opening back up more, and I will be fully vaccinated soon, and of course I will still take beyond precautions with COVID, as I have been. But just because the world's opening back up, it's also like a mourning. It's sad because, and I know this just isn't me, because all across many different chronic illness boards that I am a part of, everyone seems to kind of be expressing the same type of sadness. It's that as the world moves forward, once again, people who are chronically ill that are more homebound for many different reasons, we will be left behind again. So it feels like you're getting sick kind of all over again, like it's triggered me back to being 12 years old. And me having interactions, because even though COVID's, it's been beyond isolating, like there are some connections that I've made within COVID that are really special and near and dear to my heart. But these people, once they get vaccinated and go back to work and live a life, these relationships will change and dynamics will change, and that's just life circumstance. And it's not that I did anything wrong or this person did anything wrong, but life happens, and people will go back to a form of normalcy or try and find a new normal. And this is my normal. COVID life is my normal. It was my normal before. Of course, I had more going out, but for the most part, COVID, like quarantining and such, that's what I've been doing for the past 10 years, being homebound because of my illnesses and the back pain that I experienced, the attacks that have crippled me to a new level of debilitation and being homebound. And it's just, I got sick when I was 12 years old. I'm almost 22. And I lived a normal life. I was a child that was very active. I never stopped moving. And I all of a sudden couldn't go to school. I all of a sudden like you're stuck. I feel like this bug on a sticky pad, you know, those bug pads that when the bugs go on them, they get stuck. I feel like that's what I'm on, and I'm watching everyone else around me, their lives move forward. And that's what it's felt like for the past 10 years. And then when everyone started living a homebound life, you're experiencing what a lot of chronically ill people experience. And our world got a little taste of that, and I hope that that builds some form of compassion and understanding and builds relationships, and that people might be able to understand their loved ones that are homebound more, and people with disabilities, and that this starts new conversations and empathy, and that it's now been proven. We have done it. Our world has done it, where you can work from home in many different fields of work, and chronically ill people have been denied over and over and over working from home because it wouldn't work. Well, now we know, now it works, and so I hope that builds and opens up another conversation, an opportunity for people that have disabilities to work from home, right? And then not end up at home jobless trying to get on disability, right? Because you can't find work, and you can't go into work because of your illness, right? Whatever that might be. So I hope that that conversation can be started at some point, or is already started. So anyways, I feel like this is just, it's triggered me back to being a child of our world became homebound, and now everyone's going back, and I'm like starting over again. It's like Groundhog's Day, and I'm watching, it's like everyone all at once is moving forward, and you're just back. And it just reminds me of when I first got sick. Not that I don't experience pain and loss and grief of, staying home and being homebound and watching people move on with their lives in ways that haven't been a part of my story or my journey. And that's okay. We all have different journeys. But it's really triggered me, and it's a whole set of new mourning that I'm going through. And again, it's just sad because I've built relationships that I really value and that I enjoy, these dynamics, and these certain relationships will indefinitely change, and it's just sad. It's just sad because, again, no one did anything wrong, but they'll change. It'll stop. It'll be different because life for them will move forward, and the world will open up, and they'll go back to their 9-to-5 job. They'll go back to their 9-to-5 job and meeting lots of people and getting to go and do any social event that you would please, and going to gyms and being active and all these things that I wish I could be a part of, and I wish were part of my story, and I wish were a part of my journey, but they're not, at least at this point in time, and they haven't been. It's not to say that I can't ever do fun social things, that I can't ever go out and shop, that I can't ever go to the bar and have a drink, that I can't ever go and do time period where the world wasn't normal. And then when the world changes to being normal, you become more, you aren't convenient anymore. Or there's better. And that is a really yuck feeling. It's a really yuck feeling. So, I know I'm not the only chronically ill person feeling like this. So, if you have anyone that is chronically ill in your life, maybe you just send them a text and say that you love them, and that as the world opens up, or tries to, find some sort of normal, that you will always be a constant in their life, that you're not going anywhere, and that your relationship with them won't change, and that you love them. You know, there's a lot that I know that I have to offer this world, and there's a lot that I know that I have to offer in different relationships in my life, whether that be romantic, friendship, I know that I have a lot to offer in many different ways. It's just, you're not convenient. You don't suit people's lifestyles, right? So let's talk about being chronically ill and dating. It's not fun. It's not fun. It's actually awful. It's awful. It's not a fun experience. It's not a fun experience. You know, no one puts on their dating profile, I'm down for someone who cannot go hiking with me. I'm down for someone who can't go to the beach with me. Like, has limited, mobility most of the time. Again, none of this is to say that I can't go out, that I can't do these things. It's just very limited, and you have to be prepared for something health-wise to come up and change plans and might ruin the day, and that I am fatigued, don't have a lot of energy. I stay active, like I do my yoga every single day, so I move my body every day because I have to, and it doesn't mean that I'm not into those things. It doesn't mean that I don't love to be outdoors. My chronic illnesses don't like the outdoors and like physical activity. But anyways, it's just like, anyway, I do find that, I enjoy talking to people that are not in their early 20s like I am. I don't like talking to guys my own age because it's a different pace of life, and they seem to just not be at a level where they can comprehend anything that you're telling them, or really want to, and I'm not suitable for a lot of them, and that's fine. They're not quite suitable for me either. I prefer someone in their late 20s, early 30s, that might have a different kind of pace of life, a little more understanding, a little more ability of comprehension and compassion, or not even compassion, but a willingness to understand and see what you have to offer, minus the things. And again, I know that I have many things to offer. I know that there are many things and ways that I can be a wonderful partner in a relationship, and I know ways that I can lack in being a partner due to my illnesses. But again, it sucks. No one wants to give you the time of day. Once they figure out that you are ill, my poor most flattering to a lot of guys, which is fine. I don't really care. I do not really care. But yeah, like it just, again, no one puts on their dating profile, I'm looking for da 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 da. All the things that I struggle with, right? And I think that people get it confused with like leading an active lifestyle. Like people on their dating profiles, they're like, if you're not active and staying busy all the time, then it's a no-go. And I think people don't realize that just because my body isn't able to keep up, that doesn't mean that I don't value those things, and that that's not what I crave, and that that's not what I want, and that I enjoy. I enjoy being active. I enjoy the outdoors. I enjoy many, many things that my body doesn't allow me to do. So anyway, dating and being chronically ill is awful. Change in relationship dynamics when you've been in certain relationships or certain dynamics during COVID, and then they'll change as the world opens up, and you know, they go on their journey, and your journey has always fit into a COVID bubble, which again, I'm like, there are upsides to that of I still have a job. I have been able to provide for myself, have food on the table, have electricity, be able to have medical needs provided. I haven't had to expose myself and to go out every single day because, you know, again, I have a job that allows me to do this, and our safe spaces are my everything. And I don't have just too much outside of our safe spaces. They are my everything. You know, I saw someone was thanking me and just saying such kind words about how kind I am for within my suffering still making content. And then someone commented, you act as if like she's just doing charity work. The girl gets paid for what she's doing. And I would like to say that I acknowledge, yes, I get paid, but I don't have an obligation to upload here. I don't have a contract to upload. No one is forcing me to. And I started the safe space not even understanding that you could make money from it. I did not understand that. There was a very long time that I was doing ASMR. I've been doing this for over 4 years, and I didn't even know that I could make money. I wasn't even 18 yet. So I have been doing ASMR even when I was at like an actual, or not actual, but because this is an actual job, I work very hard at what I do, by the way, thank you. For people that think it's not hard what I do. But when I was working a more conventional, that's the word, when I was working a more conventional job, even then I was still uploading here. So like it just, yes, I make money, I make revenue off of ads that are placed, but again, if I was about the money when I have just ads placed all over my videos, no, I place one ad in the beginning, so before you get relaxed, you get that ad and then you can settle in. You will never be disturbed in my videos. You will never ever, sometimes YouTube messes up and then I have to go and correct it, but I've never placed an ad in the beginning or the end ever in a video to hurt any of you, to wake up with anxiety, make your heart race. I struggle with my heart racing all the time. I would never inflict that suffering or discomfort on someone. yes, I do make revenue off of videos. This is true, and I clearly work over on Patreon. I do 7 videos a month for $3 a month, and yes, clearly that is more of something that's under contract where someone's paying for content. And I mean, I could show up and not have any content every month, right? I technically could do that. I would never do that. But again, I charge $3 for 7 videos because I care about people. I know what $5 is like to break the bank. I grew up with a single mom who had 3 kids with different health issues, and $5 broke the bank many, many of times. And I knew what that was like. Number one, I lived through many financial issues. I have financial trauma. I have money trauma, heavy money trauma, that I don't talk about, that I suffer from. And I know what that's like, and I would never want everyone deserves a moment of peace, and not to have to decide between a moment of peace and something that could help you and your mental health, possibly, and ease physical health, with listening to ASMR, and pick that, or maybe groceries that you have to go and buy, right? No one should have to pick either or. I know what $5 is like to break the bank, which is why I do $3. It's a very low amount. Again, that's all relative to who is, what your financial income is. But I try my best because I care about people first. I care about people first. I want that mama to be able, I knew what it was like, how my mom did everything for her kids that she could and tried so hard financially. And if I could give a mama that moment of peace and give relaxation to that mom that's struggling so hard, and have her be able to afford that, then that's what I want. I want that college student who is broken AF and really, really struggling to be able to afford that extra relaxation if I am able to help you. No one should have to pick either or. No one. So that is why I have that tier level at $3. If I was all about the money, clearly it would be a very different price, and I wouldn't be doing 7 videos for $3. You know what I mean? So, people can say what they want, have accusations. That's fine. It's none of my business what you think about me. As there was the assumptions trend, or whatever, what people think about you, and you can either say if it's true or not true. You guys know that trend where people are doing videos like that, your assumptions about me. And my mom has always told me it is none of your business what someone thinks about you. And it's so, so true. It's none of my business. I think that trend is so toxic. I don't support it. I don't like it. That's no shade to anyone who has done it. But personally, I don't like it. So it's none of my business what anyone thinks about me. So you can think that I'm in it for the finances, and that's fine. At the end of the day, it is my job. It is what pays my bills. So there is a constant that I keep up with, but also, I added on a 7th video for the month over on Patreon, so I could pull myself out of a depression, because I knew that I was heavily, heavily struggling this month, and I needed something to pull me out of bed, and through my pain that I'm struggling with. So, and I didn't change the, price of the tier. I just went up an extra video for no charge. because I love you guys, and you guys are my safe space, and you're so much more than just some viewer that helps me pay my bills. That makes me feel really icky if anyone feels that way. That would make me feel really icky to feel like that. So I hope you know that that is never ever what is going on here in our relationship, ever. But I am so blessed for you and your support and your kindness and your love and your companionship with me, and being in the safe space with me, and just on this journey for the past 4 years. And like I said, without our safe space, I don't know if I would be here. You guys are my lifeline, and you mean everything to me. And I'm so sorry that I haven't been very present in our relationship here. My depression has been so heavy, and dealing with my chronic illnesses and the pain levels that I experience every day are more than I can deal with, and I am trying my best. And of course my anxiety, and it makes me a prisoner sometimes, where I can't reach out and I can't say, hey, I need help, I'm struggling, or hi, I love you, I'm struggling. And you know, I've also been struggling cognitively with a lot of cognitive issues. It started a couple months ago. I passed out, and passing out isn't not normal for me, but one day I passed out, had a nasty fall. I definitely hit my head, but I deal with intracranial pressure, so fluid building up on my brain. I deal with spinal fluid leaks. I have a, compressed interior jugular, and even just the fluid building up on the brain can affect cognitive issues. And I have dysautonomia. I have post-orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, where there's literal lack of blood flow, and that messes with you cognitively. And now that I've been having like seizures and such, and they just mess with you. And anyways, I passed out, and it was a really nasty fall, and it wasn't from the fall that made me lose my memory, but I lost my memory for 3 days. I was functioning, not the first day, but the next 2 days I was functioning, and I was like a zombie, and I was very weepy and crying, which is not just too much like me. Like, my mom was hugging me and being just really loving and really affectionate. And I'm kind of a slinky cat. I don't do people in my life don't always know how to comfort me, because like I said, I'm kind of a slinky cat person. I don't always just sit and hug my family and such. I like affection when I want to give affection, but it can make me uncomfortable if someone's trying to give me affection, if that makes sense. And I've been that way since I was a kid. So if I wanted to cuddle and sit with my mom and watch a movie, I would, but if she asked me to and tried to cuddle me, I would be very, very uncomfortable. And it gives me anxiety. So the fact that I was accepting the affection and such was just out of the norm for me. And so I remember that morning that I went to work out, and I passed out while working out, and then I got up and I tried like you could talk to me, I was there, I could talk and everything. It just, I wasn't myself. I definitely wasn't myself. So anyways, I've been struggling with cognitive issues really since then. And I just haven't felt right since. And the best way that I can describe it, just, and this might seem silly to you, but Disturbia by Rihanna, and the song was, she wrote it, I think she wrote it with Chris Brown at the time. Ugh. But the song is based around like anxiety and depression. It's actually a dark song. It's not meant to be like just this uppity, wonderful like party song. It's like a depressing song. But it describes so well. It's just a thief in the night that grabs you. And it can be scary. And it comes out of nowhere, these episodes and the seizures, and then my mind doesn't feel right after I've had like these seizure episodes. And it definitely feels like the mind's in Disturbia when I'm dealing with all these cognitive issues is the best way that I can describe it. I know that's silly, but anyways, so I know that was just a little rant, but that's what I've been going through. That's what I've been dealing with, and that's why I've been gone. And so once I hit those cognitive issues, I just haven't been. I've been heavily struggling since. And then right after that, I moved, and then I lost Catalina, and my family moved, and just like, again, everything all at once. Everything all at once. So I do need to go make a list of all the things. I wish I had a piece of pen and paper right here and I would do it with you, but I need to write a list of things that I need help with tomorrow from my assistant. I know I need the trash taken out really badly. So even though I'm on the first floor in my apartments, I still have 2 flights of stairs to go down. So that's why things like the trash are best if I can have help with. So I need the trash taken out. Vacuuming and mopping. Help cleaning my kitchen. Some more cleaning tasks tomorrow. The mail. I don't think there's really too much. Laundry-wise, I just changed my sheets when she was here last week. So I will change them at the end of the week. I clean my sheets every week. Pillowcases multiple times a week. And I wanted help with cleaning, like, putting my groceries up, just because I really struggle with that. Like, there have been times when I get food deliveries and I can't put away my groceries, like I can't bring them in physically, anything, and all of my groceries go bad and then I have to throw them away. So I wanted help with that, but the only food delivery time that I could get was late, like 6 to 8 p.m. And she's coming at 12 tomorrow. So she usually comes at 12 or at 1. So I think that is off the top of my head. Oh, and picking up a antibiotic for me at the pharmacy. Yeah, that's a whole other story that I've been struggling with for the past first time that she'll be like helping pick up medicine. So I don't know if like she wants to come over first and take one of my cards and then go to the pharmacy, or if she just wants to like use her card and like I pay her back, or I Venmo her. I don't know how she wants that to go. I'm not sure. So anyway, that's it. I don't have anything else going on. I need to, tomorrow, I need to call home health care and I need to order some more kits. Some more medical kits. That doesn't make very nice sounds. I thought it might, but it doesn't. So I need to order just some more medical supplies, basically. And some more nausea medication, I think is what I need. So that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. Or I need to make a list tonight so that I can call, have it ready, or just shoot a text over to my case manager. So I need to do that. Oh, and then I need to call my doctor and set up a appointment. Gracie and I see the same doctor, so I'm gonna call and see if we can get back-to-back appointments and just go together, because there's no point in like having separate days. It doesn't matter, right? So I'm gonna call the doctor's office tomorrow and see if I can do that. Probably what I'll do. It's probably what I will do. So anyways, I'm gonna go make a list, go put this in the sink, run some water in it, get under my heating pad because I'm freezing. And I hope that you have a great night, and I hope that this just kind of explains where I've been, what's been going on. As my lips are pale white, because of no circulation. So anyway, I hope you're doing well and being gentle with your mind and body. And I'm just so sorry that I haven't been here for you as much as I wish that I have been, but I'm doing my best to show up more and to kind of help pull myself out of this depression that I've been in and dealing with my chronic pain. So I will be filming a video in the next couple days, I want to say. And then in the next 3 days, I will have filmed a more like professional video with a better mic and a background. We will do not candlelit, even though I love this very fancy candlelit dinner with you, my sweet friend. Next time we will have a better lighting. I'll have my face on for you. I will have a face on for you and not look yucky with no makeup and pale white lips. And then some more relaxing actual trigger